Good morning, everyone. Virgo Triad here. It is March 26, 2018. Hope everyone is having a good start to their week. I am going to just take a few minutes to go over the legal definition of acceptance for value. The acceptance for value law and legal definition that was put up on April LaJune's last video that was done yesterday was put up there, and unfortunately, no one had the opportunity to actually read the full definition. So I want to go over that definition now and give you some examples of when the words acceptance for value are actually used in real commerce. Now, accepted with an ED for value is a redemption theory that has been going around for a very long time, over 30 years. It was a process that was started with Roger Elvick, as I've explained to you guys before. This is something that he put together and dreamt up in his own mind. Many people have taken it and run with it and sold packages and done all kinds of things with the claim that by using a red stamp and blue lettering, or red lettering now, I guess it is, or whatever it is that you are supposed to sign in, and forwarding that accepted for value document being a bill of yours off as a secured party creditor to the IRS or the Treasury will pay all of your bills for you that you put your accepted for value stamp on and follow all of the magical words that are supposed to go on it. Unfortunately, acceptance for value in real commerce is not that. And had you been able to actually read the full definition, you would understand that acceptance for value in real commerce means something very, very different. First of all, let's take a look at the fact that this is a definition of the words acceptance for value. And it's going to go into detail here with regards to the UCC code 3-303, which we're going to take a look at that very specific code in Cornell Law in addition to this, so that you guys have a good explanation of every area that acceptance for value is generally used in. All right. First off, let's talk about the actual site. The site is uslegal.com, and in their definitions section, you can type in the words acceptance, CE, no D, for FOR value, and you will come up with this legal definition, which is, of course, what was on Miss LaJune's last broadcast. Now, what you did not get to see are the following things. You did not get to see that acceptance for value is a commercial right that is obtained through instruments such as tax bills and violation tickets. It is a qualified endorsement or modified signature on an instrument. By accepting an instrument for value, one becomes the holder in due course of the instrument and can enforce the instrument on the issuer. As per UCC 3-303, an instrument is issued or transferred for value if these 5 things apply. Now, what we're going to do is we're going to go over what those 5 things are, examples of those 5 things, and I'm going to show you why showing this on her broadcast was actually extremely misleading, since the only thing you were able to really take a look at because of the short amount of time it was up there was the acceptance for value law and legal definition statement. Now, first of all, I've been on the phone with uslegal.com this morning because my original attempt was to contact their legal department to have one of their own attorneys go over what each one of these 5 things that acceptance for value means, and giving an exact piece of information from the attorneys themselves. However, when I contacted uslegal.com, what I found out when I spoke to the general manager over there is that it simply is a website that you obtain legal forms from. And the reason acceptance for value is on there is because, as you can see over here, a lot of the legal forms that it applies to are things like last will, power of attorney, living will, incorporating LLC formation, real estate, landlord, tenant, divorce, trusts, and so on. Okay, so just so that you guys are aware, this is not a law firm. This is not an actual legal dictionary like Black's Law or any of the legal dictionaries that are out there. What this is just a dictionary within their form site where they sell the forms, giving you some information with regards to what the legalese is that's on the form itself. All right, so let's not mistake this as something that it is not. Now, secondly, what I was able to find out from them was that they do not actually have a legal department. In fact, they are just a website that allows you to purchase and download legal forms. When I spoke to the person on the phone with regards to acceptance for value and the legal definition that is on their website, she did know exactly what it was. But when I explained to her the video that it was on and the reason why it was on there and what is being claimed, she could not believe her ears. Okay, so we are dealing with a scenario here that appears to be once again misleading. All right. So what we're going to do, rather than go through this actual definition, since this was just actually written and drafted after after something that's actually in a UCC code, which, by the way, UCC is not law. However, it doesn't matter in this case because none of these 5 things pertain to anything that has to do with the accepted for value that is being claimed on April's websites. All right. This is not anything having to do with signing an instrument, forwarding it off to the IRS. The IRS pulls it out of your trust account and pays it for you. None of that applies here. This is simply a definition. All right. So give me 1 second. I'm going to take you over to Cornell Law. Okay, here we go. We are at Cornell Law School in the Legal Information Institute, and we are talking about the section that was over on uslegal.com that they were referring to in the UCC code 3-303, value and consideration. An instrument is issued or transferred for value if one of these 5 things occurs. Okay, number 1, the instrument is issued or transferred for a promise of performance to the extent the promise has been performed. Let me give you an example. You go and you want to purchase a gym membership, okay? And you hand them a credit card. Now, when they swipe that credit card, they don't have immediate payment. The payment has to come directly from the bank that the credit card was issued from, and in between those 2 places, there is a merchant account. The merchant gets an approval. However, the funds are not immediately deposited into that party's account. But because of the fact that there's an approval code that the merchant has sent back saying, yes, this is approved, the bank is going to pay it, and shortly within the next few days, you will have that amount in your account. The credit card is then accepted for value. Number 2, the transferee acquires a security interest or other lien in the instrument other than a lien obtained by judicial proceeding. Okay, in number 2, we are talking about a situation where you are dealing with a promissory note. So, just as an example, you go into an automobile dealership. You decide you want to purchase a vehicle completely and totally with a loan from the bank. The very first thing that you are going to be required to sign is a securities agreement that allows for a promissory note, and that promissory note is being accepted for value, meaning your signature promising to pay along with having the lien on the collateral showing value to the promissory note. In 2 instances, that is being accepted for value. Number 3, the instrument is issued or transferred as payment of or has security for a claim against any person, whether or not the claim is due. Here we go. we are dealing with a situation that would be something similar to a personal loan. Okay. The instrument is issued or transferred as payment, meaning that your signature is what is being issued as a accepted for value in this case. Now, this can pertain to security also, because there are things that can be used in a personal loan. For example, some places like Sun Financial, instead of just going by what a lot of people will do, which is a credit score, they also will put up a security for that debt so that they have a lien for it. So, for example, they may say, yes, we will give you a secured as a personal signature loan for $2,500 as long as you put up your automobile for collateral in addition. Your personal signature and that collateral, or without that collateral, is then accepted for value. Number 4, the instrument is used or transferred in exchange for a negotiable instrument. This would be the same as writing a check. When you write a check, you are not handing someone cash. You are handing them a negotiable instrument. That instrument is then accepted for value, because if it were not, you would not be allowed to walk away with the product that you are purchasing. And finally, number 5. Number 5, you can take this a couple of different directions. The first one I just explained with regards to the check that is accepted for value. The secondary is something like a lease between a tenant and a landlord. When you go in and you are approved for an apartment, a landlord will hand you a document that is an agreement. It is called a lease, generally for a year. That lease is signed by you and is accepted by the landlord as value. The reason it has value is because it incurs an irrevocable obligation to their property that says that you are now obligated to pay for the next 12 months your rent. Your signature is accepted as value. Hopefully, this will help to explain this a little bit better. If you want more information with regards to value and consideration in the UCC code, I suggest you go forward into holder in due course. 3-302, holder in due course, is going to explain to you the process of things like accepting for value a check, accepting for value a signature, a promissory note. It's going to explain to you the role that the creditor plays. It's going to explain to you the role that the debtor plays. Let me just make one more comment with regards to this information. One thing that I do want you guys to really pay attention to when you're dealing with anything having to do with UCC, okay? First of all, Uniform Commercial Code is not law, all right? But regardless, when it comes to commerce, it is absolutely something that needs to be understood. For those of you that are truly interested in becoming a real secured party creditor and understand what that means, you really need to get the UCC code for your specific state. The reason I say that is because they vary slightly state to state. It is a state code. It is not a federal entity. This is not something that is federally well-rounded in the manner that you would find certain laws. Once again, UCC is not a law, all right? You need to go in and take a look at your own personal state. If you actually take a look at UCC and you do research on the UCC codes for your very specific state, you are going to find that a lot of these things, like 3-303, for example, are exactly the same for every state. But you're going to find that there are things that differ too. So that's why I'm saying it's very important for you to know if you're going to be dealing in UCC codes, if that you know what your specific state regulations are. But you're going to find that all of the things that are actually being touted out there with regards to being able to send in bills, you know, with a red stamp on it and signed for and to the IRS and these sorts of things, you're not going to find anything that would pertain to that, to anything like that. It doesn't matter how much someone falsifies information and tries to put it up on a video and make a claim that, yes, it's a real thing. See, it's in a real law dictionary. You really need to seriously think about not allowing someone else to guide you. UCC are not laws, but they are something that you need to know enough about to not mess around with. It's not looked at favorably. It can land you in court very rapidly, and I know I've said this ad nauseum at this point, but it's important that you really think about who you are purchasing packages from, what they have and have not told you the truth about, and the only way that you're really going to know that for certain for yourself is to actually investigate some of this stuff in your own state for yourself. Um, you're falling into a pit hole, guys, if you think that someone who's consulting you but yet claims that they're not taking any kind of responsibility for what your results are is an actual consultation. Somebody who's legally should be allowed to consult you, okay? Because truthfully, if you were going to an accountant and paying them $450 to consult you, that accountant would be going to court with you if you had a problem based on what their advice was. They are licensed, they are bonded. They will be there for you should they steer you the wrong direction. So be mindful of that, and definitely take a look at your own statutes in your own area. All right, but here you have it. This is what is actually acceptance for value. It is simply a definition, as you see. It's not a magic anything. And so hopefully this helps some of you that might have gotten confused from the last video. And that's pretty much where I'm at. Now, there is one other scenario that I want to mention to you, and that is there is one other situation that acceptance for value can be put into play. So let's say that you go to Applebee's for lunch, and you get their shrimp fajitas, and they get to the table, and the shrimp aren't cooked all the way. So you call the manager over and you tell the manager you're not satisfied with your meal. And the manager says, okay, no problem. I'll take this off of your bill and we will take it back to the kitchen and we will make it right. There you go, folks. A prime example of the other way that acceptance for value can be used. In other words, the person who actually would be charging you under normal circumstances can actually choose to take it off of your bill as an acceptance for value because it was not satisfactory. Other than that, these 5 ways are pretty much the only ways you're going to find acceptance for value on an actual document. And that was what the definition was for, by the way. When you see it on a legal document, they wanted you to know in what areas that definition can be used. Okay, guys, hope this helps someone out, and everybody have a great day.